Hello, everybody. I am back again for another live. It is Tonya Nicole, and welcome for Talks and Tea with Tonya. I want to welcome everybody coming on board, and let's get started. To start us off, how has been tradition. Hey, Valenie. As has been tradition, go ahead and grab your cup of tea. Today, ironically enough, my mug, it says, I love you with all of your imperfections. And I'm going to show it up close because it is written wrong. It is misshaped. It is looking really fun and funky. And this is kind of how I'm feeling. And today's talk is really going to go over a lot with that. So everybody go ahead and grab your tea, grab your mug. Tonight I am drinking raspberry zinger, and I'm very excited about that. It's pretty good. I always like honey with my tea, so I'm drinking raspberry zinger, and I really love it. Raspberry, the antioxidants, vitamin C, it has some properties that fight against cancer. It's anti-inflammatory, so just a part of Talks with Tea. I like to introduce to you all my mug of the day and what I am drinking. So if you are ready, go ahead and grab your mug and let's sit here and let's talk. This is Talks and Tea, and with me, your girl, genuinely Tonya Nicole. And today I'm really excited because if you saw the topic overview for today, it is diamonds under pressure, or pressure, you need pressure for diamonds. Either way, it's going to get really good. I forgot what the topic, like the little tagline that I got for it, but I'm really excited. And the reason why I'm excited is because we're going to hit some serious things today. So I know when I first started, it was really fun and exciting. We talked about some really good things. And then this week I kind of took a curve. So we talked about fear on Tuesday, and today on Thursday, we are here and we're going to talk about how it takes pressure in order to form some of your most valuable and precious stones. Okay, so really excited because my daughter, my youngest daughter, she came to me. She's really into science, and she said, Mom, I want you to let's go explore. Let's figure out some science projects. Can you show me how are rocks made? So she asked specifically, how are rocks made? And so I started looking with her, and we started trying to find and look into all of the science behind how rocks are made. And I watched a video with her about how diamonds are made. And so if you have ever watched how diamonds are made, or if you know the history of how diamonds are made, you understand how exciting this actually is, and how this topic doesn't just relate to a 10-year-old wanting to learn about science, but it relates to every single one of us and our lives. So we watched this really fun video that broke down so basically how diamonds are made, and it gave a couple of little steps. Number one, traditional, okay, diamonds back in the day, years ago, what we're looking at with diamonds, they were deep, deep, deep underground, okay, smashed up under the ground, years and years and years of being up under the ground, and it was carbon up under the ground. And while it was up under the ground, it had to have heat, it had to have pressure, and then it made its way to the surface and it became a diamond. Now, nowadays, in making diamonds or finding how to make diamonds genetically or scientifically, you have some of the similar things, and you have to have pressure and you have to have heat. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? So I'm really excited because today we're going to talk about how pressure makes diamonds. And when I went over with her and we looked at all of the things that it took to make a diamond. Now, when we think of diamonds, we think of these flashy, beautiful jewels. We think of expensive and exquisite taste. We think of these shiny bling, ice. There's so many different names for it when we're talking about diamonds. Diamonds are so beautiful and so precious and so rare. But what we don't ever focus on is what it takes for a diamond to become a diamond. And the main things of what it takes for a diamond to become a diamond are heat and pressure. And I looked at that and I jumped into that and I was like, oh, wow, that's what we're talking about today. Heat and pressure. And we're going to, so in your life, can you think of times where you felt that you were under fire, where you felt the pressure was so great? Okay, you get where I'm going, right? Have you ever been in the mindset, or have you ever been in the midst of things that were going on within your life where you could feel all of the weight and all of the pressure that was on you? Pressure is one of those things that just feels so heavy. It could be burdens, it can be obstacles, it could be lots of different things that weigh you down. Pressure is that resistance. Pressure is something that when you're pushing one way, it's pushing the other. I'm excited, guys, because this is good. When it came to this for me, in looking at how do we discover who we are and where we are supposed to be, and sometimes the frustration in life and where we are, we have to look at these things of how pressure makes diamonds. So we talked about pressure. It's also the heat. So the heat, when you feel like you're in the midst of all that's going on, when you feel like you just can't get a break, or when you feel like it's conflicts and it's pressure and it's things that are negative and positive, but it's more negative than positive, that's when you're in the midst of the heat. Okay, but the joy of it is, after the pressure and after the heat, what comes and what is revealed is the diamond. I'm gonna pause for that moment because it is so important for us to realize where we are, what we've gone through, and where it takes us to where we need to be. So I'm about to get real personal with you. I've gone through the heat. I've gone through the pressure, okay? I spent years of my life trying to figure out where I was supposed to be, but I always had that underlining, I knew I was supposed to do something great. I should be here. I should do this. But a few years ago, I just really felt the pressure and I really felt the heat. I was finding myself struggling to find peace with where I was. I found myself struggling to see exactly how the gifts or the talents that I thought were a blessing kept coming back and kept getting pushed back and kept getting negativity thrown to it, kept getting that barrier. But when you look at it, I kept pushing and the pressure was pushing as well. I kept moving and the heat was going on. And then 2 years ago, I decided I wanted something different. And I said, okay, God, because I'm a woman of faith, and for me, it's my God, for you, whatever it is. But my conversation was, okay, God, I'm ready to make a move. I'm ready to step out. What's going to happen? And so I decided that I was going to move. Now, it was more of a, God, I need to move, and I'm going to move, and we're going to go, and I just need you to bless it as it happens. But in my mind, I was going to California or I was going to Korea, but I was going far, far away from where I was. And it was just because I was in the midst of that pressure and that heat. And I knew that there was something greater for me. I knew that it was time for me to release so that I could shine. So I had a dream about Birmingham, Alabama. Now, how Birmingham, Alabama fits into the picture of Korea or California, I don't know. But I had a dream about Birmingham, Alabama, and I knew at that moment that was where I needed to be. So within 2 weeks, I picked up, found where I needed to be, and my whole family, we moved to Birmingham, Alabama. And since then, like I said, it was a couple of years ago, I still struggled as I came up into being released of exactly where was I supposed to be and what was I supposed to be doing. But I want to tell you, I decided when I hit the realization that I was meant to be a diamond, that I was meant to shine, and I was meant to do more, and I was meant to be brighter, and I was meant to go further, that it was time to stop hiding, because the pressure had already built and shaped what I was supposed to be. The heat had already created who I was, and the resiliency and the fervor that I was able to have instilled in me because of the experiences that I had a chance to go through in life. And it was that pressure and it was that heat that allowed me to decide to become more. So when you're looking at yourself and you're wondering, why am I going through this? Why am I in the midst of this? Why does this not seem perfect? It's because you may be in your season of pressure and heat. Because the thing that we must realize, if there's no pressure, there's no diamonds. If there's no pressure and there's no heat, there's no diamond. And so you may be in the place where you're getting the pressure. You may be getting that pushback. You may be getting that resistance. You may be getting conflict. You may be getting negativity. But if you just keep pushing forward, allow every experience, allow everything you've gone through, allow everything that you're going to go through, become experiences in your database where you are able to grow and you are able to become the person that you are supposed to be. A special friend of mine, and I don't know if I said this quote the last time, but a special friend of mine, I call her Coach Mel. I was having a conversation with her and she said something that was so dynamic to me because I constantly said, well, I know I've been called, but just sometimes I struggle with whether or not I'm qualified. I just struggle with that sometimes. And what she said to me, and she used it in the spiritual sense, she says, God does not qualify. God does not call the qualified. The qualified are called. Did I say that right? God does not call the qualified. That's it. Okay, start over. The quote was, God does not call the qualified. People are qualified because they are called. And when you have that mindset, you realize that the things that you're gone through, the things that you are, who you are, makes you different from anybody else. The pressure that you've experienced, the heat that you've gone through, it's okay. It's all right. And the reason it's okay and the reason it's all right is because that pressure and that heat that has gone through your life and that you have experienced, you take it into your database and it's going to have you come out shining bright like a diamond for all of the world to see. And when you're ready to shine, it will be your time for you to spread what your gift is, what your passion is, and step into your purpose that will benefit the world. We don't need copycats. We have enough. Someone is waiting for you to step up. So I hope this helps. I hope this talk helps somebody. But let's continue the conversation. You know how to do it. Like it, share it, like the video, share the video, but most of all, comment. What season are you in? Are you feeling the pressure? Are you feeling the heat? Or is it your time to shine? And if it is, let's continue this conversation. Let's encourage one another and let's be involved in making greatness and in improving the world and in growing and developing into what we need to be. This has been Talks and Tea with your girl, Tonya Nicole. That's me, genuinely Tonya Nicole. And I hope you enjoyed today's talk. Like the video, share the video, comment, like my page, join me, learn more about me, and that's about it. I'll talk to you later. Peace.